Hello, we're at Aldea Zama, and we're with Mark and Linda, who have just received, they have just did a closing on a single-family lot in a project called Aldea Zama. How do you guys feel now that you have received the unit? Because you purchased this about 2 years ago, correct?
Yes, we did 2 years ago. We basically purchased it sight unseen. We had been to Tulum, and we liked the area. And when the realtor that we know here in town released his listing on it, we were interested in it, so we called him and talked to him a little bit about it. And we thought it would be a good investment in a place we might be interested in, so we went ahead and purchased it. And we are just now seeing it.
Okay. And what are your feelings? You were there last week, I think. How do you see the development? What's it look like to you?
Everything looks sort of like what we expected to see. Roads and hookups being readied for all the lots, and so I would say that they're off and running, and that's what we expected.
How was the process here working with this group and purchasing this property, this lot?
Well, they were very efficient, and they made it very easy to follow through on the closing. We arranged things ahead of time so that when we got here, everything was ready for us, and they were always on time. And as soon as we arrived, we went down to sign the papers, and everything was very simple and efficient and easy.
So the communication.
So we had a very good experience and no problems of any kind.
Communication was easy, emails, telephone calls?
Yes, everything. They followed through very well on every single question that we had, and followed through on getting all the information that they needed to get everything ahead. They got everything ready ahead of time so that when we arrived, it was all ready for us to sign. And so everything did go as planned, and it was a very efficient process.
Could you guys share with us a little bit, what were you guys looking for when you decided to go to Tulum?
Coming location, a place that wasn't overdeveloped yet, and maybe was on a new track to something interesting, and a place we could potentially build a winter home in, and enjoy the nice natural beauty down in that area. So that's hopefully a good investment. We like the description of the development, and thought that it would have the kinds of things that we'd be interested in, the kind of development they're talking about.
So you decided Tulum. The attractions were the beaches.
The beaches, yes, definitely, and the nature, the fact that there are all the eco hotels down there. It's a very popular yoga area, and I teach yoga, so that was one of the things that interested me, was that potential. And we just like the whole environment of that area. And we like this development because I think it offers people like us who don't know the area that well the comfort of being in a planned development with some services like the town center that they have planned, and say the close access to the beach, the roads and sidewalks, so that we could get back and forth easily. So those were all the things that we enjoyed about that property.
Now, what do you plan to do? This is a single-family lot that you purchased, so when do you plan to construct, or what do you plan to construct?
We're not really sure when. That depends on our careers, and when we think we can get to a point where we can take a few months off every winter. We don't want to build anything until we get near to that point, because we're not looking at this to be a rental type of situation. So there's no need for us to build and rent something out. And
Tulum is still a very small village. It's only about 30,000 people. So how did was that play any part in your decision to go to Tulum?
Well, it didn't seem crowded, and it was a little quieter, and yet it's still close enough to Playa del Carmen that you can come for the day and get anything that you perhaps couldn't get down in Tulum. So it's nice that you do have a more quiet place, because we live in a big city, And it's nice.
Washington, D.C.
Yes, so it's nice to have a place that's a little quieter and more laid back, less stressful environment, because we live in a very stressful environment. So to come down here and be close to the beach and to be in a quiet town is enjoyable to us.
How long of a trip is that by Washington, D.C. down to Cancun Airport?
Oh, it's a 3-hour plane flight.
Yeah, just a little over 3 hours on the plane, so that's not bad.
Direct flights.
Direct
yes.
flights. So it's
And,
easy travel to get down here. Doesn't take us long at all. We come a couple times a year, and it's a very easy flight, so it's no problem to get here.
Now, Mark, you're telling me that you do some fixing up projects back in Washington, D.C. area. Do you plan to get involved in that down here in Mexico?
Not as a career, no. By the time we get down here, I hope that I don't have to do that anymore.
We can have a more retired lifestyle.
Other than
have more time for fun.
small scale, you know, there may be some involvement in this piece of property for me, but it would probably be in the finer details.
More finishing details
Right.
that we would do on our own, probably.
And the design of it, like I said, more of the small scale stuff.
Do you have any idea what type of architecture you want to, how do you dream your house to look like?
Well,
He's had a lot of dreams.
we have a lot of different tastes.
A very
and
natural garden with a
Yeah.
pool,
We love stone,
rustic type of
stone
thing.
and wood, and we like the very clean, natural, contemporary style that they do down here in Mexico, instead of the old colonial style. So
Right.
we like
prefer a
things
more modern but rustic style,
modern
Okay.
but rustic materials
Mhm.
used in a new way.
using natural materials like stone and wood and that type of thing.
And Linda, you do yoga classing, and any plans to do anything down here in Mexico?
I don't know. I would probably be interested in pursuing that because that's something that is a lifelong, love, and you can't really give that up. So
What a perfect setting to be in Tulum with the cenotes, with the
it
ocean
is.
front.
And I have many clients and friends who have come down here with me, and we've done yoga classes just, as a group together. So I could potentially see something like that continuing over the winters when we're down here, having friends visit or doing like yoga retreats, that type of thing.
Well, I want to thank Mark and Linda for your time this afternoon.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Our pleasure.
And this is Thomas Lloyd. I'm at topmexicorealestate.com. Thank you.